A new video has emerged of an attack against a Catholic church in Washington state. Smashed windows and pro-abortion graffiti damaged St. Louise Catholic Church in Bellevue earlier this week. The attacker also cursed at a woman who was praying in the church's Adoration Chapel. The masked assailant also sprayed paint on the parish's administrator. And joining us now to talk more about this is Joe Bukuras, staff writer for Catholic News Agency. Joe, welcome back. Great to see you. I know you've been following this. Tell us a little bit more about this incident. The video is really jarring.
Sure. Thanks for having me. So the video, you can't put words to it. It's just pure violence, pure anger. I just got my hands on a court document from the Kings County prosecutor's office, and it says that they identified the person, the attacker, who was arrested, the name Maeve Noda. And this person ran away from the scene. Police, after they were called, they approached Maeve, and Maeve began charging the police car and began hitting the police car. Eventually, the court document says she was arrested and put into hospital, sedated, and the charges are supposed to be brought tomorrow. That's looking like it's going to be charged with a hate crime. So that's just pure violence. I mean, there was spray paint everywhere, statues defaced. I think it was around $10,000 in damages that the church is going to have to come up with. So, yeah, really sad situation there.
It's really awful. I know you talked to those at the church. What did they have to say?
They were sad. I was talking to the pastor, Father Gary, there, and he was telling me that he got a phone call. It's his day off. He gets a phone call from this woman who's saying, Father Gary, there's someone in the church. They were screaming at me. They were swearing, and this woman, as she's on the phone, is hiding in behind a piano in the Adoration Chapel, scared for her life, he said. And he rushes over to the church. He finds her outside. She's just shaken. And the parish, I guess they have a counselor there too, who came and met with her, coincidentally, by the time he got there. And they were just trying to calm her down, but she was traumatized. I mean, not only was she attacked with words, but the parish administrator was physically attacked. Maeve allegedly spray painted him with spray paint on the cheek there. So before Maeve fled. So it's just a terrible situation there. I know the pastor said that he was really disheartened to see it, but he said although they were attacked with rocks, that Jesus Christ is their rock, and they're not going to be moved by this.
Yeah, so wonderful to hear that, but really a scary situation. In West Virginia, something else very jarring. St. Colman Catholic Church, it was burned to the ground, and it was also a historic site. Joe, tell us more about what happened there. So sad.
Yeah, so it happened on Sunday, and the local volunteer fire department was called. They heard there was a fire there, so they went over, and the thing was just gone by the time they got there. And other fire departments from the area came as well, and they're investigating that. The local fire marshal is, and the state police responded as well. I mean, it was just a historic, little cute church. I mean, it served an Irish community, an immigrant community a long time ago in the 1800s, and that church really was a spiritual rock for that community during that time. It was obviously very Catholic, very religious community. And I'm sure, they'd be heartbroken to see it burn down today because it served so many people. And I know the people today who have ancestors who use that church are so heartbroken. We talked to one, and she said that, she's just really hurt to see that it's gone. They left that church open all the time just to let people walk inside and see it and take in the history. And yeah, just a tragedy to see all these churches being attacked, and especially St. Colman's. What a gem it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Such an incredible loss. We're approaching the 1 week mark since Roe has been overturned. What do you think the atmosphere is right now in the pro-abortion movement? Have we seen an increase in violence and damages to churches and pregnancy centers since last Friday? What are you seeing, Joe?
Yeah, well, I know we were tracking it since the leak in May. The leak, obviously, Dobbs v. Jackson was leaked May 2nd, I believe it was, and we were seeing a lot of attacks. I mean, I think we were averaging around one a day, and now, I mean, this is the most I've ever seen personally. I think between Friday is when Roe was overturned and today, I think I've tracked about 18 vandalisms, either churches or pro-life pregnancy centers. So, I mean, that is a high rate of attacks in a short amount of time. So, is this going to slow down by next week, by next month? I'm not sure, but I know this is the most violence that I've ever seen personally.
It's so awful. Joe, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for your reporting and staying on this. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.